नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती प्रभुपाद Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Srila Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की and what is the name of the deities here in your house? Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Om Ajnanatamirandasya, Jnananjana Shalakaya, Chakshuvanmilitam Jena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale, Swayam Rupa Karamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Andeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Tadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyareshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome all of you this morning for this Servant Leaders Applied Training Education Training Program. We are starting with the course 1. At the beginning of every session, I will give a 10 to 15 minute synopsis of the whole session, like a capsule, which I would say is the essence of the whole session. And then we will enter into the session and do some discussions and everything. Okay? Today we are going to take the first topic, developing Vaishnava qualities, service attitude, respect and care. We are only going to touch on the topic of service attitude today, part 1. That is service attitude. The other ones will do in future. You will see in the Vedic life, the service itself is reward rather than seeking separate remuneration for service. That is one of the reasons why the Vedic life appears so soothing when you practice the Vedic lifestyle. For example, a Brahmana sitting under a tree, a Chatushpati with his students, you would consider it a great opportunity to share the wisdom from the Vedic literature. And there is no monetary expectation from a Brahmana. Nevertheless, the disciples, out of gratitude, they give dakshina, correct? No? That is typical in the Vedic life. Same manner, Kshatriya, protects a man from tiger, or protects a woman, or protects children. He doesn't expect any immediate remuneration. Imagine he protected you from a tiger and you gave him 500 rupees. He will say, keep it with you. I just did my duty. Kshatriya duty is to protect. I'm not doing it because you're going to pay me some money. So he will do it as a duty. And in the same manner, you will see a Vaishya is the person who produces economy for the whole society. Although he is making money from the people, he knows that this money is not for my enjoyment. It is meant for giving charity to Brahmins. Tax to Vaishya, Kshatriya, 25%. And he also will be giving food, clothing, shelter to the Shudras. Because Shudras, money was not given to them. Because if you give money, they will spend it in wine and women. So they were only given food, clothing, shelter. I remember in my grandfather's village, when we were living, the Shudras who were working at home, they were working for generations. 3, 4 generations worked with our home, washing pots, doing things. They never asked for money at all because they never had a need to ask for money. Everything was provided for them. As soon as there's Diwali, there'll be dress for all of us and there'll be dress given to them also. Daily food is cooked and they also get the daily food. And many times, without the servant asking the master for any commodity, the master understands that now my servant has got a child now. Whatever the child needs, they will send. So in this way, the provisions were given so much that the Shudras didn't needed to keep money in their pocket and misuse it. So in this way, in the Vedic life, everybody was service oriented, and they didn't have any expectation out of that service. So service itself is reward. So this is something we can learn in our lives also, that perform the service as a reward itself, so that there are no fruits attached. Like Krishna says in the 18.24 Bhagavad Gita verse, three words he uses there: Bahulaya asam, Kamepsuna, and Bahulaya asam means enormous endeavor. Kamepsuna means fruitive mentality. There is one more word he uses there. Huh? He says, sa ahankarena. Sa ahankarena, he says. Ahankar means false ego. Kamyapsana means fruitive mentality. Bahulayasa means enormous endeavor. These are all symptoms of Rajaguna work, passionate work. So, if one has to rise above it, then one should know how the service is to be performed. Now, therefore, in the Vedic life, the service was voluntary. It was not forced. It was voluntary. Like, for example, we request devotees, can you please come for Harinam Sankirtan? You know, or can you do this particular service? Can you do that particular service? We keep it a voluntary thing, correct? No? Voluntarily, people choose to do like book marathon. Voluntarily, people should distribute books. Huh? Prabhupada, Janmashtami. Voluntarily, devotees should come forward to raise funds out of love for Krishna, love for Guru. That is, so that means service is performed with love. Service is voluntary. Uh, Service involves some amount of sacrifice also. So there is voluntary, opposite of voluntary is mandatory. Correct? No? Isn't it? So service should be voluntary. It should come from the heart. Then it is very pleasing to the performer as well as the one who is receiving the service. Both. When service is performed voluntarily. Uh, Actually, how the service is performed, if you see when Srila Prabhupada was in the West, he was cooking in the early days himself, serving the devotees. He was struggling hard. And Brahmanand Prabhu and others saw Prabhupada. They felt pity for this old man. How much is he struggling? And they wanted to help him wash pots, help him get grocery, you know. And he was penniless, he was placeless. So they arranged for that matchless gift store and also accommodation behind it. So they felt he's like an orphan. We have to help him. So they were impelled to help him. They were impelled in their heart by love for him, affection for him, by trust in him, by induced by their attachment to him, they rendered service. Like one time, you may be aware in Lilamrita, we read this pastime. They want to please the Swamiji, so they put a rug on the floor, you know that? And then they put pictures on the walls from India, like Hanuman, Garuda, and all those pictures. Arranged as elevated seats of the Swamiji, and behind him they put a big Radha Krishna picture, and they put one packet full of agarbatti, in the room. So full room was full of agarbatti smoke. And Prabhupada arrived. Prabhupada looked at all the pictures and saw the rug, very thick, nice rug. He saw the elevated sitting place. And then he saw the Radha Krishna picture, and he felt these hippies have done all this on their own without my telling them. I never ordered them or told. I didn't give them the service. On their own they have done. This is the meaning of service. Service means you do impelled by love or impelled by feelings, some devotional sentiments. So when Prabhupada sat and he was about to begin the talk, he smiled and said, "So you all are making progress in your Krishna consciousness," he said. So that means when such service is performed voluntarily, it's a sign of progress when one does service. And you don't have to schedule. Of course, sometimes you make schedules for service so that it goes properly. Like in Jagannath Puri, I heard that there are 2,000 families who are involved in rendering service to Jagannath. Every family exactly knows what is the service. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Pahandi Vijay, Jagannath was brought out, one pillow he was kept, no? From one pillow, then second pillow, it would break, and the cotton would fly in the air. So, Manima, Manima, like that he would shout. Manima means, so the great personality has got off from his royal throne and come to the cart. Like that Mahaprabhu would say, Manima, Manima. So Mahaprabhu noticed this cotton flying in the air, and he called Satyaraj Khan and said, "See, these cotton pillows are not of high quality. Because when you keep Jagannath, it just explodes, and then it breaks and cotton flies. Can you arrange these pillows for Jagannath every year? Only once Mahaprabhu said. Till date, that family is arranging. Satyaraj Khan's family. 500 years ago, it was prescribed. You can ask. They are the ones who are in the silken robes. They are the ones who are in the pillows. It's coming down in parampara in their family. So that means nature of service is like that. So Mahaprabhu didn't order. He just suggested. And that was taken as an instruction, taken as order, and even today it's being followed. So service is voluntarily done. It is lovingly done. uh, it is not done for any remuneration. It is considered a great privilege. It is done out of gratitude. And also, service should be done in a spirit of sacrifice also. It involves some amount of pain. Like a mother has to sometimes get up in the midnight to tend to the needs of her child. Although the child is passing stool urine in the middle of the night. Daytime also she was working all day, and night also she has to be awake. It involves a moment of sacrifice, correct? No? Same with Krishna service also involves sacrifice, going an extra mile, taking an extra pinch, we say. So that is something that one extra pinch you take, that is taken note by the Lord. And there are many examples of that extra pinch we can give from the Shastra. Like you see Gajendra, his leg is caught by a crocodile. In that situation, he offered the flower to Lord Vishnu. Now, offering flower, all of us do every day on the altar, Pujari service you do. But imagine if a crocodile is catching your feet, that time offering is not very easy. Correct, no? Yeah, in that time he offered. That is something very special, isn't it? Similarly, Arjuna, in the beginning of the battlefield, you see, he said, Senayoribior madhye ratam stapayame achyuta. Yavadetan niriksheham yoddukama anavastitan is saying, take and show me both the armies. He saw that side army, this side army. And the result was he started weeping. Correct now? So in this world, when you look at the world with your eyes, you are subjected to illusion. When you hear the Shastras with the ears, you awaken enlightenment. So after that, he heard Bhagavad Gita. And then he looked at the world around. Crying Arjuna became confident Arjuna. Correct, no? Because, therefore, don't see things materially. If we see things materially, we will be subjected to illusion. We have to learn to see things spiritually by hearing through the ears. So, therefore, Shruta Ikshita Pat. Bhakti Yoga is called as Shruta Ikshita. Shruta means to hear, Ikshita means to see. Hear and see. In Sanskrit, there's a word called darshan, which has a double meaning. One meaning of darshan is philosophy. Another meaning of darshan is to see. So philosophy is heard through the ears and then seen through the eyes. Correct, no? So in this way, if we want to develop that type of service, doing nature, we have to hear the Shastras and see the world around us with a spiritual eye. And how do we see that spiritually? We should see that the whole material world is a paraphernalia to be offered in Krishna's service. We should see like that. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina. So, you can just put one tulasi and offer the whole world at Krishna's lotus feet. The whole world should be seen like that. It's not meant for my enjoyment. Idam namama. Meant for Krishna's service. Therefore, Krishna can be served in millions of ways. So Prabhupada gave millions of services. You can see that Hagiri Prabhu, he told him to edit the books. Our Jayananda Prabhupada told him to build the Rath carts. Jadurani Mataji Prabhupada told her to do paintings for Krishna. Shyam Sundar Prabhu was a carpenter. Prabhupada told him to make altar. In this way, you will see that Satyabhas Maharaj Prabhupada told him to put books in the universities and colleges, bus party. And Tamakshna Maharaj and Vishnu Swami Maharaj Prabhupada told them to go in Greyhound buses all over America and distribute his books. Rai Ram Prabhupada told him to publish Chaitanya Charitamrita and other books. Like that, Paramahansa Gopakshana Maharaj Prabhupada told him to become a trustee of BBT and publish and distribute as many books in as many languages as possible. His Holiness Jayapadaka Swami Maharaj Prabhupada told him to develop Mayapur as an international headquarters. Isn't it? In this way, Prabhupada gave different services to different devotees. Surabhi Prabhupada told him to make architectural model of Vrindavan temple and later on Juhu temple also. Similarly, Guru Kripa Maharaj Prabhupada told him to become a fundraiser. He and Guru Kripa put him Gargamani Prabhu. So Gargamani, Prabhupada made him Gargamani. Prabhupada told him he's a money collector. He brings a lot of money. Similarly, Prabhupada called Kirtananand Swami as Kichanananda. He called because he became expert in making puffed chapatis. So Prabhupada taught him how to make puffed chapatis. Kichanananda, he said. So in this way, Prabhupada trained different devotees and engaged them in services like that. Plenty of services. But Prabhupada taught them to see the service spiritually, not see materially. There was one Nandrani, Mataji, cooking in the kitchen. So Prabhupada taught her some things. So Prabhupada asked her, Nandrani, do you know what's the meaning of your name? She said, I don't know, Prabhupada, you only gave the name, maybe you know the name. You tell me what it is. Prabhupada said, you see, Nandarani is Yashoda. Yashoda, while cooking, she's always thinking of her darling son, Krishna, always. So when you are cooking in the kitchen, you should know you are cooking for the pleasure of Krishna. That's all Prabhupada said. So she caught this point very well. She thought, I'm cooking, but I don't have anything in my mind. My mind is blank. So she said, Prabhupada made me feel like Yashoda's assistant. I'm cooking in the kitchen. So he made us see things spiritually, not see things materially. The more you see things spiritually, your mind and heart becomes very light, and the service looks very easy, and the performance of service appears very pleasurable, very enjoyable, relishable. Once you love Guru and Krishna, you can do unlimited services. You have no limits, no human limits for that. So service should be done voluntarily, it should be done in a mood of sacrifice, it should be done in a mood of selflessness also. Like you see a mango tree gives mango, it doesn't eat the mango itself. Yeah, a river gives water, it doesn't drink the water itself, you see. The clouds hold the water, but they then pour down the water. They don't keep it with themselves. Sun is giving light to everybody else. Moon is giving juices to everybody. In Krishna's creation, when you look around, you will see that, all are in a mood of giving, 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 giving. Nobody's in mood of sun is giving you solar panel heat by which you convert it into electricity, correct? No? Do you pay EB charges to sun? You don't pay, just giving you. Yeah. So the mood of service is one of giving and not grabbing. So giving opposite is grabbing. So Vedic life is also giving life, not a grabbing life. Like I was in Radha Govind Mandir in Jaipur for a yatra. Early morning, 5 o'clock, there were 5,000 people. In such a early morning time, huge crowds of people going around the, Pradakshina Marga. We were all going yatra, we had gone also. So, people come for darshan very early there. So, one observation I made there, many Marwadi people, Rajasthani people, they all purchase this prasadam and they distribute to people. Somebody is distributing bundi, somebody is distributing this white color round, what do you call that? Sugar one, correct? No? Misri also, and they distribute till gold. One fellow, sakar? Sakar putta they call it. Then one fellow was distributing Mysore pak. One fellow was distributing laddus. And different people had, some were small items, some were big items. So when we are going around, you just pick up whatever they give. In 3 pradakshina, you do it, your breakfast is over. Because everybody is in a mood of giving, serving. Nobody is grabbing. So again, for us to be able to perform service, we should be selfless and in a mood of giving. It's a mood of giving, it's a mood of selflessness. So service starts physically with hands and legs. For example, a man marries a woman, naturally he has to serve the wife by giving her sari, ornaments, house and everything. When she is pregnant, he has to get her so many things from the hospital and go to the market. The husband cannot say that, I love you very much, but I can't serve you. He can't say that. Love implies service. Yeah. So, in the same manner, there are people who say that why are you people making a display of your devotion? Wearing some tilak on the forehead and kantimala and wearing dhoti kurta and making a show of dancing in the street. This is all a big display, pompous display or ostentatious demonstration of your devotion. There's no need of such a show bottle. People say like that. We have devotion in our heart. But you will see, even in this world also, When there is a barat for a boy, huh? They put a boy on a horseback. You've seen that? They put some turban on the top. And all the relatives dance. You've seen that? They throw colors, they dance, they put music and all. We can ask them, why are you making a show? Is it not true? If you say we should not make a show, why are you making a show? They will say, then what? Our son is getting married. We want to tell the world how happy we are. Okay, you are telling the world how happy you are by your son's marriage. We want to tell the world how happy we are in Krishna's lotus feet. Correct? No? You will see in this world, nothing, no great event is performed without a ritual. Huh? You will see, for example, 15th August, a flag is raised in the top of a pole. Huh? And on that day, anywhere if a flag is kept in the middle or below, that person is put in the jail. You know that? According to Indian constitution law. So in case you have a flag, make sure that it is hoisted on 15th August. Now somebody may say, what is so great about it? Yeah, cloth is just flapping. No, it's not a cloth. It represents the whole nation. The three stripped cloth represents the whole nation. People stand before it, they salute it, and whenever there's a national anthem anywhere happening, you stand in a erect posture and all that, correct or not? So you do respect. So you will see ritual is there at a national level. Ritual is there at home. Rituals are there in the office. Where is the place where there is no ritual, you tell me? And those rituals are performed for something temporary, something perishable. And we are performing these devotional rituals for the Almighty, who is eternal, everlasting, imperishable. So we should know that this display of devotion that devotees do for the Lord is a spontaneous outpour of love for the Lord. So physically we do many services for the Lord in the beginning. And when we do physical services, our passion is driven out. Our passion is drained out. Then we come to the mental platform where you render services with your mind, like Narasimhananda Brahmachari made a road for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to go to Vrindavan, flower bed. My spiritual master used to narrate that. He said the flower sometimes has a backside portion which is a little hard. That also he made sure he removed it. If you take Jandu, for example, the top portion is soft. Below there is a hard portion. He made sure that there is no hard portion that is removed. So he made flower bed was so soft, and there were beautiful lakes, swans, cuckoos cooing, peacocks dancing, and embedded with the diamonds on the sides of the road. Mahaprabhu was walking, through that road, and it was all done where he was doing it in the mind. It is a Manasa Puja he was doing. Similarly, in South India, there was one place called Patishtanapur, one Brahman. You all know that he had a great desire to cook, isn't it? But then he had no money. He was practically penniless beggar. He sat in the bank of a holy river and then he got all the golden vessels, silver vessels, everything in the mind. And he made sweet rice and he tried to put his finger, correct? No? And then when actually he literally got it burnt and black, and Lord Narayana laughed, and Lakshmi asked her, my dear Lord, why are you laughing? Share with me what makes you laugh. So Narayana said, look at this devotee, how intensely he is remembering me that he got his finger burnt. Lakshmi said, if that is so, you should bring him immediately. Lakshmi always recommends Narayana to bring everybody back very quickly. Immediately Vaikuntha plane was sent to bring him back. That is also an example of Manasa Puja. You can see that. And when you cannot do some service physically, you can do it in the mind. Sometimes you are going in the train or bus, and morning time they are missing Mangalarti. So then we sing Mangalarti, Narasanga Tulsi Arti. So Tulsi Maharani we remember in the mind, and we do Yanikani Chapavani in the mind, and we water Tulsi in the mind, we touch Tulsi in the mind and take it, everything we do it. We can do it in the mind. Like Vasudeva was in the jail and he wanted to give charity. So how did he give charity? In the mind he gave. Cows, millions of cows in charity. But although he gave in mind, when he came out, he actually gave cows. When he came out, both we should do. So we begin our service with the body, then we do it with our mind, then we do it with our heart. As in the beginning we say Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam, engage our senses, then engage the mind, then engage our heart. Sri Krishna says Man Mana Bhava Mad Bhakto, he says, for us, instruction for us. Whereas when he talks about pure devotees, he says Mat Chitta, he says, my devotees give their heart to me. The definition of a devotee is Devotees are those who have lost their heart to Krishna, and therefore they are always engaged in service to Krishna. So that is the meaning of a devotee. Matchitta madgata pran. He says prana means for them, like the fishes cannot live without water, like that they cannot live without Krishna. So that is giving the heart in service to Krishna. Mm. Those who have sold out their hearts to Krishna completely. So that is the highest stage of service. And in that platform, service is done in the form of love, like Yashoda's love for Krishna. A covered boy's love for Krishna. Radharani's love for Krishna, Gopi's love for Krishna. Now Gopis can do Leela Smaranam, and that is service. Now Yashoda is remembering Krishna and waiting when will this boy come back in the evening. That is actually service. That love itself turns into service in the very elevated platform. So, of course, they are not just loving and keeping quiet, they are also rendering service also. Like when Krishna disappeared from the dancing arena and came back, the gopis put their cloths in between and then made Krishna sit. Correct, no? So, in that cloth, and then they spoke to him. So, you will find the Krishna book is full of expression of loving exchanges. So, in this way, now till now I've been telling you only about service, service, service. There is something called a service attitude. Service attitude is the soul of service. What is service attitude? What is your hetu or motivation in rendering the service? That is actually called service attitude. Like Prataparudra Raja is sweeping in front of the Rath cart. Lord Chaitanya was very pleased. He wants to declare to the world, I am not the king, Jagannath is the king. Lord Chaitanya took notice of that. He was very pleased. Similarly, a squirrel was trying to put some stones in the Setu Bandha. Lord Rama was pleased. Anybody who does anything, like Shabari is biting the fruit and checking whether it is sweet or sour, and then giving to Rama. So, see, the Lord is very attentive to the intent of the devotee than the content of the service. In the path of bhakti, the intent is far more important than the content. Like you can see, uh, like my assistant used to give me fruit juice. So one day when he gave Mausambi juice, it was so sour like lemon juice. I asked him, hey, did you taste it? I asked him. He said, no, Prabhu. He said, how can you give me without you tasting it first? I then asked him to drink a little bit. He said, oh, Prabhuji, it is so sour. He said, yes. Therefore, tomorrow onwards, when you give me first, you taste a little bit and then you give me. I said, and then it hit me very hard. That is the reason why Shabari first tasted. And then she gave to Rama. Correct, no? That means you are attentive in your service. You are attentive how the service should be rendered. So, when we are entering service, we are not careless in our service. Careless or callous. Callous means insensitive. We are attentive in our service time. Like, for example, if it is a hot summer, you make sure the water you offer Krishna is cold. If it is cold winter, the water you offer should be warm. Correct, no? Similarly, whenever there was a prasadam serving, my spiritual master used to come and touch the pots and see whether the prasadam is hot. And then he will check the watch whether it is served on time. And he would also check the plates and everything whether it is clean. So these three things he said. Prasadam should be served clean, it should be served hot, it should be served on time. We always check that. That means attentiveness in service also is based on our attitude. Yeah. And attitude also means, are we humble in our attitude? Are we arrogant in our attitude? Is our goal of rendering service to become popular, famous, and be well known by others, or the purpose of service is to please Krishna? Sometimes you see some politician going to some hut and giving some uniform or clothes to children, and he wants to get a photo clicked so that it will be published in the newspaper, so that he will get votes, popular votes. So that is actually an example of somebody who doesn't have the right attitude. He does very little and then wants to use it, encash it for getting votes and come to a post where he can pocket a lot of money. So that is example, negative example. So the positive example is how our attitude should be right attitude. In the verse Karmanyeva Adhikaraste, Krishna says 4 qualities there. He says, first he says, be responsible for your service. Secondly, he says, don't be attached to fruits. Thirdly, he says, don't be proud of having done the service. And fourthly, he says, don't be lazy in doing the service. So actually, we become lazy in a service when we see that my name won't come. We become lazy. And we become proud of service if service goes well. And we become fruitive in mentality because we become self-centered and due to self-importance. So he says these four things. Be responsible, be free from fruitive mentality, don't be proud, and don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Yeah, and four things he says. So anyway, these four things are attitudes in service, how we enter the service. So what to do and what not to do. That like that he says that. So I read a story in Bible. Once Jesus was telling a story to his people, group of men. He was telling that there was a church where one rich and proud Pharisee. Pharisee means like a Jamindar type of person. He entered the temple and then went in front of God and said, "Oh God, you see, I am giving you $1,000. You can see I am rich and I am very generous and I am very charitable. And this is not the first time I am giving you, and I have been always giving you. Because of which the church is running very nicely. And I am not like that poor publican standing at the rear end of the church. Look at him. He's a penniless beggar. He just comes to your church and eats some morsel of food and he goes back. But I am always very big hearted and I'm giving you. Like that, he glorified himself. And then he walked out of the church with his raised nose like an anti aircraft gun. Like that, he walked out. And in the poor publican at the rear end of the church, he was even hesitant to come in the front with folded palms and his head bowed down low. He said to Lord that, my dear Lord, I have come to temple. I am a penniless beggar. I have nothing to give you except my heart. So you please accept me and please forgive my sins and make me your devotee. Like that he offered prayer. So Jesus said this story and said, so two people offered prayer to God, but God heard only one prayer, he said. Whose prayer he heard? Second prayer. So again, this is to do with the attitude. So service attitude. So service attitude is the soul of service. It's very important. If our service lacks the right attitude, it's not very good. It's not very good because then we get something called as Ajnat Sukriti we get. Little benefit we get. One count, two counts you get. But if it is service attitude is there, we get 1,000 count. You get a very big count. See, for example, Chan and Mushtik are punching Krishna and Krishna is laughing. Definitely, it's visible that Krishna is enjoying when Chan and Mushtik are punching him. But then, are they serving Krishna? What was their intent? To kill Krishna. Therefore, it is not devotional service. On the other hand, Yashoda is going to fetch the milk in the kitchen and Krishna is crying. So it's visible that Krishna is unhappy. But Yashoda's going to the kitchen is to fetch milk for Krishna's service. So her intent is loving devotion to Krishna. So that is counted as devotional service. So we also have to get the X-ray vision to see, what is the right attitude based on the intent of the performer of devotional service. It's very important. Like in our big temple, once a group of girls came, 4, 5 girls came. So they are all new, totally. Only one girl was a devotee in that, others are new. So one of those new girls, she saw there's a big plate of flower offered in the morning, Shringa Darshan. So she just picked up some of the flowers in the hand and started offering to Vrindavan Chandra. When Mataji came running and caught hold of her shoulder and said, "Hey, what is this? These are offered flowers. How can you offer it again?" She asked. Girl got frightened. She doesn't know what is offered flower. When the devotee Mataji understands this terms of ISKCON, correct? No? This girl is new. She doesn't know what it is. She got like a frozen. Mataji understood. She got frightened. Then she told her, just drop these flowers here in the plate. I'll give you new flower. Come with me. She went to garden, plucked some bunch of flowers and gave her. This you can offer because this is fresh. So when I saw that, I was thinking, even the first bunch of flowers she offered from the plate, picking it up, Krishna definitely, Vrindavan Chandra must have accepted it, correct, no? Because it is inoffensive. It has no offense. It is done with the intent of, as soon as she saw the deity, she felt like offering something. She just picked up whatever flower was there. So therefore, we have to always see the spark of devotion in the heart of the living entities. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that old Orison lady, climbing on his shoulder and trying to, look at Jagannath with great excitement. So he didn't mind that she put her leg on his shoulder, but he was thinking about her eagerness and enthusiasm in seeing Jagannath. He saw the spark of Krishna consciousness. Mm. See, there is one angry devotee in Pune in the congregation. He is very famous for becoming very angry, extremely angry. And many people are afraid of him. Huh? But he is very expert in arranging big programs. One time he had arranged a big program where 3,000 people came. The spiritual master became very happy with his service. And he also goes and gets land, he gets donations, he catches people and gets a lot of work done like that. And dozens of people come to catch me because I am the president of Pune Temple. So they complain to me. They'll say, Prabhuji, please listen to me. And just like, gopis come to talk to Yashoda about Krishna's Leela. And I'm stealing butter. I have to hear the devotee Leelas. All the devotees Leelas. They'll come. As soon as they come for complaint, I know it's about this person only. you know. And I'm used to hearing, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I have to hear. Nowadays I note down also so that they'll be more satisfied by noting down. So, and then so this is the service I do to those people on behalf of the spiritual master and GBC. This is my service to them. I note down everything. And then when the guru comes, I tell them, Maharaj, all these people want to meet you, Maharaj. And his guru told me, see, Rajnapu, you are there in Pune to meet them. You have met them, no? He said, yes. That's enough now, he said. No. I said, but Maharaj, what is my answer? What do you want me to tell them? He said, see, try to see how much service he is doing. What is the volume of service he is doing for Prabhupada mission? Many of these people who complain, they don't do anything. They only talk big, they only complain. But see this fellow, how much wealth he has brought for Prabhupada movement, how much land he has got, how much books are distributed. Day in and day out, see, he has a family with children and his wife is cooperating, and day in and day out, he is out in the field doing so much for Prabhupada. That means that this spiritual master is able to see that person's dedication, commitment, and contribution. And then Maharaj said, see, you should not be angry. I will tell him. But you see, there is something called tamoguni bhakti. Abhisandaya yo himsam dambham matsaryame baba. Kamrambi binna drigbhavam sa bhakti tamasa muchyate. Tamasa bhakti means 5 things, he says. Himsam is a violent devotee. Violent. He's violent in his speech and behavior. Himsam. Dambham means he's very boastful about his services. Matsaryam. He is oftentimes envious of others' progress. Bhinna Drigbhava. He is independent minded. He will make independent decisions. And Samrambi, angry. He becomes very angry. So are these correct attitudes? No, these are wrong attitudes. But this is conditioned stage. So yes, the Guru would tell me that these are not correct attitudes, they're wrong attitudes, these are erratic. So you should train him. You should meet him. He's a good soul. See, these 5 bad qualities are residing in his heart, but along with that, there is another 6th quality, which is desire to serve Krishna. He has a very staunch desire to expand Prabhupada movement. So that is also there. Why don't we see that? So try to appreciate what he is doing and then try to help him get rid of the bad qualities. So in this way, being a very exalted guru, he is able to see the sunny side of that individual, brighter side of the individual. Whereas we, in our stage, we for us, the bad qualities appear very glaring for us. That is our highlight for us, like that. So, yes, we have to have that right attitude, service attitude, seva bhav is very important. Now, as we proceed in the session today, it will become very clear about service attitude. Now, let's proceed with the notes now. See, you all have read the note. How many of you have read the first notes? Most of you read. Very good. Let us take the answers. So, this is the advantage. If you read and count, a lot of time will be saved. So, See here in page number 2, I am showing there also. Read the first one. Where is the mic? We have one more mic with us. Yeah. Please read that. How eager am I to serve? Yeah. How eager am I to serve?
How eager am I to serve, or do I want to be served? Great souls always try to serve Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas selflessly, voluntarily, with loving sacrifice, without any motivations, without interruption, unconditionally, and with one's body, mind, and words, with the desire to benefit them in relation to Krishna consciousness.
This is what I explained till now. I explained elaborately with many examples and all I told you. Okay, now let's proceed ahead. So, uh, like this is Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur and our Srila Prabhupada interaction we showed in this first part. And so there, see Prabhupada, how honest is his letter, you see. Please read this, dear Guru Maharaj.
Dear Guru Maharaja, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. You have got many disciples, and I am one of them, but they are doing direct service to you. Some of them are brahmacharis, some of them are sannyasis, but I am a householder. I cannot. Sometimes I give monetary help while I cannot give you direct service. Is there any particular service I can do?
Yeah, see, this is the way he wrote to him. So this is one famous question that Prabhupada used to ask his Guru always. What was the question? How can I serve you? It's a very wonderful question, yes. And he would ask it honestly. Some people have got a habit of asking, कुछ सेवा हो तो बता दीजिए. Some people say like that. कुछ सेवा हो तो बता दीजिए. One fellow used to always say that to me. So one day I put a phone call to him. I said, आपने सेवा मांगा, huh? You wanted seva, Prabhu. Can I tell you some seva? Then he said, no, Prabhu, I told you. But when I get some time, I will tell you that time you can give me service. So one should not say it as a ritual. One should be willing also. Correct, no? It's important, yeah. And then Abhay received a reply, you see, the same instruction he gave, that I am fully confident you can explain it in English, thoughts and arguments to people, and that will do much good to yourself as well as your audience, he told him. He told him that you can turn yourself into a very good English preacher if you serve the mission to inculcate novel impression of Chaitanya's teachings. And okay, now the questions below, they are based on the 2 paragraphs below. You have answered it? Yeah. Underline the sections emphasizing service, correct, no? I have said that, you would have underlined that. And then what did he say as our sole duty? Who can say? Yes, Prabhu.
Spread and propagate service to the
Spread and propagate?
service to the Lord and His devotees.
Correct. And how can one please Guru and stay in line with Krishna?
Following his orders.
Following Guru's orders, correct. What was the special mercy Abhaycharan received? Actually, in 1933, Prabhupada wrote one. Prabhupada asked him a question. And then 1936, his Guru went back to Vaikuntha. So, just 2 weeks, I think, 1 or 2 weeks before he left for spiritual world, Prabhupada got the letter, correct? Huh? So, the same instructions he got there. Yeah. So, this is a very important section, the third one, on eagerness to serve others. So, what we learned from the Bhaksan Thakur's instruction to Prabhupada and Prabhupada's attitude towards Guru is that, Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur gave a very clear-cut instruction for service. Sometimes what happens with some of us, we are very much into books, very much into literature, reading and relishing the Shastra and everything. So we may not give clear-cut instruction to our followers on what to do, what service is expected. Now in the beginning of the class I told you, a dozen names I told you, how Prabhupada gave service to different disciples. Specific service. One day Prabhupada was coming into an ISKCON temple from the garden. One gardener was offering obeisances. And he got up and Prabhupada looked at him and said, Prabhupada, I am your disciple, he said. And then Prabhupada said, oh, you are doing gardening for Krishna? That's wonderful. Make beautiful flowers and offer it to Krishna daily. And that's all Prabhupada told him. Till date he is doing. See, he just began as a gardener for a few weeks. After Prabhupada told this, he decided, I'll be a lifelong gardener. Every day I'll make flowers and I'll offer it to Krishna now, like this. So, Prabhupada gave very specific instruction to people what is to be done, who should do what. This is there in one of the verses we will read later. In Bhagavatam, I'll show you the verse number. Apavritair karnarandrair dishtya. I'll just show you that verse. Dishtya tvayana sishtoham. Correct, this is the verse. 322.7. 3.22.7. It's a very important verse. I can show you one section of this. I'll show you. 322.7. See, in this, this is Kardamani. Dishtyatvayana kritascha anugraho mahan. Apavritair karnarandrair. Dishtadishti aushatir. I've been fortunately instructed by you, and thus this is Shyam Manu telling to Kardamani. I thank God that I have listened with open ears your words. So here you see what he's saying. We probably can read this one. It's especially mentioned here that one should be very inquisitive. Take the mic, one of you. Take the mic, yeah. One should be very
One
inquisitive.
should be very inquisitive to hear with open ears from the authorized source of the bona fide spiritual master. How is one to receive? One should receive the transcendental message by oral reception. The word Karnarandraihi means through the holes of the ears. The favor of the spiritual master is not received through any other
Part
of the body but the ears. This does not mean, however, that the spiritual master gives a particular type of mantra through the ears in exchange for some dollars, and if the man meditates on that, he achieves perfection and becomes God within 6 months. Such reception through the ears is bogus. The real fact is that a bona fide spiritual master
knows
the nature of of a particular man and what sort of duties he can perform in Krishna consciousness, and he instructs him in that way.
See, this is the duty of the Shiksha Gurus, because the Diksha Gurus are not available to do this now. Like, for example, the spiritual master knows the nature of a particular disciple, means the psychophysical nature. Who can do what services, what are they capable of? One should identify that. And what sort of duties one can perform. They should ascertain first and then give instruction. Read further. He instructs him.
He instructs him in that way. He instructs him through the ear, not privately but publicly. You are fit for such and such work in Krishna consciousness. You act in this way. One person is advised to act in Krishna consciousness by working in the deity's room. Another is advised to act in Krishna consciousness by performing editorial work. Another is advised to do preaching work, and another is advised to carry out Krishna consciousness in the cooking department. There are different departments of activity in Krishna consciousness, and a spiritual master, knowing the particular ability of a particular man, trains him in such a way that by his tendency to act, he becomes perfect. Bhagavad Gita makes it clear that one can attain the highest perfection of spiritual life simply by offering service according to his ability, just as Arjuna served Krishna by his ability in the military art. Arjuna offered his service fully as a military man and he became perfect. Similarly, an artist can attain perfection simply by performing artistic work under the direction of the spiritual master. If one is a literary man, he can write articles and poetry for the service of the Lord under the direction of the spiritual master. One has to receive the message of the spiritual master regarding how to act in one's capacity, for the spiritual master is expert in giving such instructions. This combination, the instruction of the spiritual master and the faithful execution of the instruction by the disciple, makes the entire process perfect.
Yes. That means Guru should identify the psychophysical nature of the candidate and engage the candidate in a particular type of service. And the candidate should take that service as life and soul, and fulfilling the order given. And the result of that is what? The disciple gets encouraged. Oh, I did the service and I am able to do the service nicely. And then one's conviction in Krishna consciousness, one's determination, one's fixity, one's focus, one's absorption, one's stability increases. By that, the disciple, two things happens to disciple: confidence in spiritual life and gratitude to Guru. Both develop in the disciple. Then the relationship between Guru and disciple becomes thicker by that. And then the disciple sees that all these services I have done has caused the pleasure of the spiritual master. So then the principle of Yasya Prasadat, Bhagavad Prasada applies after that. So Guru is pleased, and the pleasure of the Guru gives an energy to the disciple even more to render more service like that. So in this way, it's like a cycle which enhances the disciple's ability to surrender more and more. That leads to more surrender, more surrender, more surrender. And the service which was started as a duty doesn't remain duty. It turns into love. It is offered with love, love in the heart. So that's how we say that is actually the seed of Raga Bhakti. The Raganaga, how the Raganaga comes, the seed of that is this type of connection between Guru and disciple. So it's a very important purport it is. 322. Yeah. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Abhay Babu, who became Srila Prabhupada, we saw that. Okay, the next section, on eagerness to serve others and not be served by others. Very nice section. I got this from one BTG article. Purusha means enjoyer. Here, whether you are a woman or a man, what is the meaning of enjoying? See, the Purusha enjoyer means I am the center and everyone should be at my beck and call and everything is meant for my enjoyment. This is the meaning of enjoying mentality. Right? Everybody is here in this world to please me, serve me, satisfy me, and everything is meant for me to pick and use. This kind of thought process is a very bad thought process. It is the Purusha mentality, Purusha bhava we call it. Purusha prakritisto hi bhungte prakritijan gunan karanam gunasango asya sat asat yoni janmasu. So we all have to detect this Purusha mentality in our heart and we should curb it, nip it in the bud. Because this Purusha mentality is what makes manashashtani indriyani, prakritistani karshati. So we struggle hard in this world to be an enjoyer, be the pivot of all that exists. And everything should revolve around me, everyone should salute me, and wrong notion like that. We don't want to serve, we want to be served by others. So this expectation is very bad, bad expectation. Everyone should satisfy me and serve me and please me. Actually, even the service awarder should not think that I am being served. Like, even the gurus think that I am serving my disciple. That's the mood in which they serve also. Like, for example, once one Maharaj told my spiritual master, Maharaj, there is one very nice singer called Swarup Damodar. Such a sweet singer. I'm hearing his Mangalarati and other things. Harivandana, one Kirtan tape he had made in those days. It's very sweet. I recommend it to my disciples to learn the songs through that, he was telling. And my sister master also said, yeah, he's a good singer, he said. But later that Swami came to know that Swarup Damodar is disciple of his own Radhanath Swami only. 2 days later, he said, Maharaj, I came to know he is your disciple. Then my Guru Maharaj said, yeah, he considers me his Guru, he said. He didn't say, yes, he is my disciple. He didn't say that. He said, he considers me his guru. So, even if somebody is guided by us, we should never say that I am the Shiksha Guru of so and so. We should not say that. We should say that so and so has chosen to, take an instruction from me. We should say that. Is it the same or is it different? Different. That's a big difference. Earth and sky difference. Because, like there was one fellow in Pune, I remember. So one boy was under him. This is a little old devotee, Hindi-speaking devotee. So this fellow is a little Purusha Bhav this devotee had. This old devotee. He used to keep people like this. And so that one boy didn't want to be under him. He wanted to leave him and go to another devotee. So this fellow brought this boy and brought him to me and said, Radhe Shyam ji, हमने इसको भक्ति में कड़ा किया. I brought this fellow and made him stable in spiritual life, and now he wants to go to another person. You order him that he should be under me only. Like that he said. I told him, first you send away the boy, I will talk to you first, I said. I sent the boy away. I said, क्या कौन किसको कड़ा कर सकता है? आप खुद ही गिड़गिड़ा रहे हो आप. I said, you are yourself trembling in spiritual life, and how can you make another one stable? I said, this is also anartha. This is actually called Keshi. Keshi demon is, I am Shiksha Guru, anartha. So one should never think that I brought somebody to Krishna consciousness or I am inspiring somebody in the Krishna consciousness. Actually, we all should think that we all are devotees, and sometimes I am coordinating some service together with others. And there may be 10 devotees working with me, I coordinate their service. I'm a coordinator, you can think like that. So I told this fellow that if he wants to go to someone else, you should actually lovingly allow him to go and tell him that, Prabhu, sorry, I couldn't inspire you. And if that devotee is very inspiring, you stay under him. Whoever inspires you, you stay, because ultimately it's not a question of whether you are under me or him. Your heart should be inspired to serve Krishna with love. That is the goal. If I can awaken that type of inspiration and love in your heart, then I will do that. If I am unable to do that due to some reason, because of my certain idiosyncrasies, you are not able to receive that type of nourishment from me, go and stay with anybody who is able to give you that inspiration. That is the right mood actually. So this Purusha Bhava is a very, very bad mentality, which is explained here. Very nicely explained here. So the questions are here. Can you say material conception of life in 2 words? Anybody? Huh? Yeah? Only two words only. Purusha? Attitude. Okay, Purusha attitude, yeah. And who is the liberated person? Yeah? 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 One who agrees to be served. One who agrees to serve and not to be served. That's a liberated person. You see? And what is material disease? Yeah? Making plans, always making plans on how others can serve me and I can take service. That's material disease. Always. Yeah. Why was Arjuna refusing to serve Krishna? किम नो राजेन गोविंद किम भोगैर्जीवितेन वा येषामर्थे कांक्षितं नो राज्यं भोगा सुखानि च. As he says, and then finally he says, Nayotsya iti govindam muktva tushnim babuvaha, he says. Nayotsya, I will not fight, he says. Because he was thinking everything in terms of what will give me enjoyment. Krishna told him, no, this is the Purusha Bhava. And then later on he'll give that up. Karishye bachanam tava, he will do that. So, that the disease is that my will should be done, not Lord's will. So that is the point. I have a question to all of you, that we say that we should not take service, but many times, many of us are preachers and we are devotees and we have many people with us and we get some services done from them, correct now? So that actually then they are rendering service by serving our instructions. So are we not taking service? Here it says that it's a material disease that you are taking service from somebody. And liberated person means one who is always thinks I am a servant and I should be serving. So how do you see that? Anybody want to say? Give the mic to devotees. There's the mic. Yeah, yeah.
As I feel that personally, we should, as a community, sometimes we may have to ask for some service, personal service, but less of personal service,
Mm.
but more of the service to the mission.
Mission, okay. And one should be careful not to use the devotees for one's personal services. That's true, yeah. Like in case you are very old, you can't carry a luggage or something. One devotee want to help you, you may take help. But otherwise, one should be very mindful that, Prabhupada told one Mataji, what is her name? One Mataji, there's a letter. Prabhupada said, don't engage her as your personal servant. Prabhupada wrote her. So there is a tendency in us to take an easy way out for many things by getting some service done from others. And there has been in the past sometimes criticisms in our society that a preacher uses the devotees as a household servant. So one should not do that. One should be very careful about it. Like for example, there was one preacher who did not do any job, just was preaching. And the preaching money would come, and a part of the money he will use for his family, little bit. And then rest of it he would use it in Krishna service fully. And nobody minded it. People also understood this person has no job. He's doing everything for Krishna only. Little money using for his family, nobody would mind. But in another place, one person was building a community. And then he was becoming luxurious in his family, using the community's money. Then people criticized. People criticized that, hey, he is collecting money for Janmashtami and how the money goes to his pocket. So then people started becoming critical. So you understand the difference between the two? The first case, both are actually taking money from what they have preached because they don't have any other job. This is the only service they are doing. But people don't mind if one uses a part of the money for food, clothing, shelter, basic things, and then rest of the day he is fully engaged in service. On the other hand, if somebody makes spiritual life a way for earning and increasing one's luxuries, then one will be seen as taking personal service. Correct, no? Exploiting the wealth. So in this way, each of it you can give examples. We can talk about exploiting the wealth or exploiting the other devotees. We can give example for that. You understand, no? So that type of service we should not take. And yeah, in the same manner, one important thing also I was telling a few minutes ago, I'm repeating that point again. When we think that so many people are with us and we are ordering them, do this, do that, that ordering also should be done in a mood of service. Like my spiritual master, once I entered his room, he said, Radhe, Prabhu, how can I serve you? Like that he was asking. In those early days when I was just initiated, 1993, I said, Maharaj, how can you serve me? I am your servant. I am your disciple. I am coming to your room to ask you how I can serve you. I asked him like that. Then Maharaj said, no, every devotee should be in the mood of service, including spiritual masters, he said. So he said, see, you will serve my instruction when I tell you to do something. But I consider that it is my service to instruct you on behalf of Prabhupada. That's mine. I am doing it as a service to you. So, of course, you may follow me or you may not follow, it's up to you. But it's my duty to serve you because Prabhupada has put you in my custody. So, it's my service to you to give you instruction. And if you choose to follow my instruction, it will be glorious for you. If you don't choose to follow, then it's up to you. But I am serving you by giving you instruction. That means this is a very important point. That we have to always do every action. Actually, how many of you feel ordering somebody in a mood of service is difficult? How many of you feel so? Correct, no? It's more, therefore, that is reserved for senior devotees, for those who are grown up in spiritual life. If you tell a neophyte fellow, hey, go and order that fellow, he will shout at him. Correct, no? Therefore, the more we go up, we are supposed to even order in a mood of service. So, how do you order in a mood of service? Therefore, great devotees will give you instruction in the form of suggestion. No? They will not give you instruction. They will say that, I suggest you, if you do this, it will be good for you. Correct? Yeah. So that was one point. This is also a very good thing. frustrations. Yes, Prabhu. Take the mic. Take the mic, Prabhu. Yeah.
When we see practically when we want to do some things done,
You get into your speed.
yeah. So suppose preparing a stage.
Yeah.
So
Hari
very,
bol,
very
Hari bol, Prabhu, come here.
so
Hari bol is supposed to be lovingly said. Hari bol. But at that time, there is no time for very sweet Hari bol.
yeah. So in that times when we say that probably you do this, you do this, you do this, mostly it would be in that speed mode, and we cannot say, Prabhu, I suggest you to do this. We cannot
They may
do
not
that. Actually, it doesn't work with the speed. So how do we handle?
That is true. And who has a solution to this? Anybody? Let us hear from others. Anybody? Anybody a solution to this? Yes. Give the mic.
We should not ask suggestions at that point. We should ask before, and we should plan
In
perfectly.
advance.
Then
Plan in advance only.
advance.
Not last minute pushing devotees. Okay. Who else has a point? Yes, Mataji. Give the mic to.
And generally, when we are in that speed mode, we should make sure the devotees who understand your
They should be available.
eagerness, then they are available,
Hmm.
and they would understand that it is because of the situation.
And they are also intimate with us like brother or sister. You know them. They will not misunderstand you.
And also, still, we should make it a point that later
Hmm.
we very explicitly go and
Say sorry.
say that, sorry, and
Correct.
if I've been like that, we don't even realize sometimes that we talk like that.
Yeah.
So we can explicitly ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
And,
Almost inevitably every service has that phase, as you said, crisis phase. Okay.
many times devotees do understand, at least the close ones.
Correct.
And sometimes when they are.
And there will be few misunderstandings will be there. And we go for yatras and you do kirtan, dancing, chanting, taking prasad, they will forget over a period of time. Yeah. Anybody else want to add to that?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Maji, there here? Yeah, yes, Prabhu.
Sometimes we don't have a choice to whom we are our servants.
Correct.
So we have to
That is a
deal with the
challenging
situation. So we can, of course, that intimate like Haribol in a louder way can be with those who understand, but
Correct.
with others
When
have
we have
to
no choice, do whatever best we can.
Yeah, do whatever. is-
Okay. There's one.
We should invest sufficiently into the
That is one thing I was expecting. Actually, there is a time of calm, there's a time of storm in an ocean. When there is a time of calm, it's a time for investing. Right now, there is no crisis. When festival time, there is crisis. Correct, no? Jagannath Rath Yatra, Janmashtami, Ram Navami, book marathon. So before the crisis is going to come after some time. But when there is no crisis, it's a good time for us to invest in relationships. And there are various ways to invest in relationship, like taking prasad together, chanting together, going for yatras together, and talking one-on-one and giving personalized time and guidance and everything, and making them feel comfortable and knowing their needs, all those things. So in this way, these things act as a very great deposit, and the relationships becomes thicker and the trust becomes deeper. And then in crisis time, when you sometimes have to withdraw some money from that account by strongly telling them something. It's not, if you have already put 10,000 account, 2,000 you withdraw, no problem. 2,000, 3,000 you have to withdraw, there's no problem. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
There's a calm phase and a storm phase.
Correct.
Always. And sometimes the storm phase is more longer or stronger than the calm phase. So
Correct.
that time, like, we generally become bankrupt or something like that.
Ah.
So, like, how do we identify and take a pause and it's time for calm phase, or we should slow down? Or is
Actually,
it really
we should
possible
not-
to do like
Actually, sometimes what happens, we go from one storm to second storm. And second to third storm. So therefore, I would say that there has to be planning for the whole year. How much challenges we want to take up. There has to be time. As I told you, there should be time. Like this course, what we are doing is in quadrant 2, we call it, which is, not urgent but important. Yeah. So this is one example of the activity. In the same manner, there should be some activity for the inside devotees. And there should be some activities for giving out. This is Janma Sarthaka Kori, Karapara Upakar. So we call them, these devotees we call as like internal customers. then there are external customers. So if you give sufficient time to internal customers, then every one of them will do wonders in future. But if internal customers are oftentimes neglected because they are already Paka devotees, then we give time to newcomers, then these people become bankrupt. They run out of fuel. Suddenly you find out one day you are imagining that they are all right, but they are not all right. Suddenly they run out of fuel. And then you realize, my Lord, I am giving time to new people and our own devotees are struggling, starving. So therefore, there should be planning. I do a lot of programs for inside devotees, especially those who are in leadership, because if you take care of them, they will do wonders. Like for example, a child who is very healthy and well nourished, that child can face challenges and bring great success actually. And malnourished child, cannot do much. So therefore, we have to have a balance in life, and the balance comes in Sattva-guna. So sometimes we become driven by Rajoguna. So we have to always keep a watch that we keep our life in Sattva and then take challenges occasionally on and off like this. So that I think the time management should be taken seriously. Planning, time management, yeah. There is one hand up. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. After you, sir. Yeah.
So most of the important things are already discussed. It is like time planning. But one thing is, because when we are saying to others we are a coordinator, so we need to know like what we can take it off.
Correct.
If
Something to eliminate.
which is not important, and if we are engaging all the people in that and we are missing the core part, so that is important.
Correct. Therefore, the leader has to be very watchful and mindful. Okay, good idea. Thank you. Who else?
When we are instructing someone, we have to tell the urgency of it and the purpose, how it will helpful in the whole coordinating the event.
Correct.
And when we are dealing with, when we convey that, they also feel that urgency. That time we are only feeling urgency. And most of
Actually, you have to hand over your urgency to them. You have to transmit it to them.
that connection and that we are should be on same page.
Correct.
But that not happens. And when we are doing service with devotees, we should assure them like after that we'll have small treat or like we have to give some prasadam that will boost up.
Correct.
And that is the most crisis time, nobody get prasadam, so we should giving some dry prasadam, some it will boost up. And most of the times it happens after service nobody will ask, but if some team has coordinated, we should meet after the event and we can meet for 5 minutes 10 minutes. That will give some positive. Next time also they will help, happy to coordinate with the devotee.
Correct. That's true, yeah. So these are all intelligent, thoughtful plans we can make in order to make the performance of service very joyful rather than burdensome and irritating. Yeah. If somebody is irritated, then the service doesn't come out so well. It is grudging devotion service, not loving devotion service. See, in devotion service, you have to do service, but the service should be devotional service. And it should be not grudging devotion service, it should be loving devotion service. And it should be voluntary also. It should be inclusive of sacrifice and extending nature and all that, correct, no? Yeah.
So actually, sometimes when the service is not happening or we wanted to push and do, if we are having a perception that the devotees are lazy or they're not voluntary,
Our outlook.
Perception, the tone will be different.
Correct.
If you have it the perception that devotees are genuine, they're trying their best, and still you urge them to do something, the tone will be different.
Exactly.
Then they'll be able to understand it.
Very true, and it's very, very true. Therefore, the next session when we will be going, when we go to the second session, there is a topic on learning to see good in others and overcoming fault-finding nature. Especially Madhyamadhikari, Kanishadhikari, the main difference is this. Kanishadhikari points out fault and he keeps pointing out only faults. And Madhyamadhikari points out fault and tells him how to come out of the fault. That's the main difference. Madhyamadhikari helps a person. See, you have this small fault, Prabhu, but you do this, you will be out of that. And I can foresee you are a wonderful devotee. You just take care of this one thing, Prabhu, like that. That's Madhyamadhikari always desires to see the person free from faults. Yeah, good point it is. So, what we think about other devotees in our mind. So, even if somebody has some deficiency, we should see what other brighter side the devotee has. We can see. Like, for example, you go to a garden, you may say the garden is full of thorny bushes. Huh? Somebody says the garden is full of fragrant roses. Which is true? Both are true. So it's your choice what you want to see. Correct? No? In the same devotee, you find both things. Good point it is. Thank you. In this Purusha Bhava we discussed. So what is the difference? You found out the match the following? Huh? Okay. What is the difference between material and spiritual platforms? You have to choose A, B, C, D, E. Relationship with Krishna is personal, beautiful, eternal, full of bliss and knowledge. And material, everything is limited and temporary. See, in the material and spiritual platform, here I have written relationship with Krishna. Now, our relationship with Krishna is through relationship with devotee. Therefore, we should be able to see how the devotees are personal, beautiful, eternal, full of bliss, full of knowledge. And they're very wonderful. Like what Vishwambar Vishal Prabhu just now said. Therefore, we say first we should have affection and respect for Vaishnavas. Then that leads to affection and respect for Guru, because Guru is pleased with us when we can deal with everybody properly. Then when Guru is pleased, then Yasya Prasada, then Hari is pleased. But we go reverse always. We first love whom? Krishna first. Kanishthadikari loves whom? Krishna first. He goes directly to and then when he loves Krishna, then Krishna says that, see, you say you love me, but your Guru is not happy with you. He says, oh, really? Then he goes to Guru. Then Guru says, I am not happy with you because Vaishnavas are not happy with you. Then he goes to Vaishnavas. Hey, tell me, why are you guys not happy? They will say, you are not exhibiting Vaishnava qualities. Then we start working on Vaishnava qualities. Then we come properly. That's over the years, this is the realization everybody will get. We directly attack Krishna. No? So therefore Krishna says, don't come to me directly, come through Radharani. Come through my devotee. What that was? Aradhananam sarvesham Shnuraradhanam param tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. Better than worship of Vishnu is worship of his devotees. So, okay, second one. Why are people suffering a lot nowadays? Yeah? Which one? Instead of giving whatever they have to God, they store it for their own enjoyment. Why I have given directly like this? This kind of match of following is very rare. Generally, match of following, you will expect that the answer will be here or there. I purposely gave like this. So all of you found out clearly. Okay, what is real enjoyment? Give an example. E. To give enjoyment to Lord, like our hands giving enjoyment to the body. Correct. What can make our lives complete? We have to realize that our relationship with Krishna will only last, and engaging in Krishna service. That will make our lives complete. Why do some swindlers pose themselves as God? Why do even people in general want to be God? People don't want to serve God. They want to be served. They want to be God and want to be served, adored, and glorified. Yeah, this is actually disease, material disease, to want to be the center of the whole universe. That's a very bad disease. It's Hiranyakashipu disease, Kamsa disease, Ravana disease. So that type of disease it is. So it's a diseased mentality. And the opposite of this mentality is, Maheshwar Master was once saying, in GV, he was giving a lecture. He said, you are not the root of the tree. You are a leaf in the tree, he said. Like, immediately you can picturize it. Where is the root? If you are a leaf, means one of the millions of leaves. You are not the root of the tree. So he was telling, even if you are leading a service, there are many people working with you, you are only leaf of the tree. That is the consciousness with which you should serve, you are selling. So who is the root of the tree? Yata taror mula nishechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujopashakha pranopahara chaitendriyana tateva sarvarhanam achyuta ijya. So achyuta is the mula. Achyuta is Krishna. Yeah. So this drama we will do. It's very interesting drama. Two of you, we want three or two? Three people are required. Govind, Shyam is not there. Okay, in this. Okay, who are the two? We can stand here and do it. Two of you, devotees. Come. Your modulation is very important. See, your drama is going to be recorded and it will be used in future also, huh? Mike, both of you have mics with you? Hey, give the mic to them. Mic is coming. 2 mics you have, only one? Okay.
I'm Govind, Prabhu is Rabi.
Yeah.
Rabi, it seems you don't have college today.
College is on, but my interest is gone. Ever since I started tasting Krishna Rasa, my bhakti nasha has increased. I am no more in Maya's vasha, Prabhu.
Oh, you are nicely poetic, Rabi Prabhu. But you have to do your studies also well, like Arjuna did his duty. Otherwise, you will be in parents' vasha, and your situation will be buradasha.
Buridasha.
Yes, Prabhu. That's all right. I thought today is Radhashtami day. Back and pay for Radharani's mercy. Ultimately, without ascending service to Krishna through Radharani, how can descending mercy come upon me, Prabhu?
That's wonderful thought. Because of your prayers to Radharani, she's sending you a golden opportunity to do some seva today. I was looking for someone who can help cut sabji now. All devotees have gone to college and kitchen devotees are overloaded due to many items to be cooked for the feast. Can you please help us with sabji cutting now, Prabhu?
My only problem is that I cut sabji big and small size unevenly, Prabhu. Radharani will be upset with with me. Therefore, I suggest you look for another devotee, please.
Oh, okay, Prabhu. I will find out someone else after 2 hours. Rabi Prabhu, the boga is ready now. Can you please help us offer the boga? Students will be arriving in 10 minutes for lunch prasad. Today is fasting till noon also. So they will be hungry. Can you please offer this boga plate?
Prabhu, how can I, such a fallen soul, offer boga on a Radhashtami day? Radha is being served by exalted personalities like Lalita and Vishaka. I am a fallen soul, Prabhu. Better you only offer, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. I will do the needful, since I have no one else to offer. After an hour, Prabhus, prasad is ready. Please, all of you come. Maha Prasade Govinde. Rabi comes first running with his prasadam plate is coming
That's a big plate.
and sits down, eager to eat prasadam. I'm all right. Rabi Prabhu, can you help me serve prasad, especially for the students who want to rush to college after lunch? You can sit in the second round.
Prabhu, there are 24 junior devotees around here. And today is the auspicious Radhashtami day. Just make an announcement. You will get someone somehow to help you to serve. Doing service is good for their spiritual progress, Prabhu.
Okay, Rabi Prabhu. Then you may sit down in first round if you wish and take your prasad.
I already sat. How can I not follow your instruction, Prabhu? After all, you are my senior. I am ready here with my plate.
Haribol.
Haribol.
See, this Ravi speaks in a very Krishna conscious way, it looks. But what is he trying to do is escaping. So I have given the heading, escape from escaping mentality. So the escaping mentality is very dangerous mentality it is. Some people very smoothly escape from service. What some people do, they keep 2 rounds in the morning balance to chant. Any service you give, they say 2 rounds are remaining. Till that round, 2 rounds will remain till night 11 o'clock. And senior also will think, I should not disturb the fellow. Poor fellow, he has to chant now. So, see, when you correct the devotee, this is a bad attitude, people feel very bad. Therefore, I convert it into dramas like this. When I write a drama, people really laugh and enjoy. And through that, we can learn what not to do. Thank you. It was very beautiful action. We can have 2 more devotees. We not 2 Matajis can act this. Sacrificing and extending to serve softens the heart and charms the Lord and devotees. Yeah. It's opposite mindset, isn't it? You give the mic to them, they will act. Who two are ready? You two. You both can do. Yeah. So we take from here. You take. But you can come here and do, like everybody can see you. Yeah. Good. You have notes with you, both of your notes, yeah. These are this is a drama for the opposite, the good attitude. Huh? But Sanatana Goswami says he teach people about what is bad attitude, good attitude. He says then people catch the good one. So one place he says right behavior, wrong behavior, both should be shown. Yeah. Yes. So Lalita Mataji is a manager. Who is Lalita Mataji amongst you?
I'll be like
She is manager, and another Shyama Mataji is good attitude devotee. Okay, go ahead.
You seem to be rushing to college, Shyama. I have a small service to be done. I was wondering whether I would be disturbing you by asking you a favor.
No. Please tell me what needs to be done. I'll try my level best. I'm just going to college in half an hour to give a test.
Oh, you have a test. Some sabji had to be cut and there's a shortage of devotees. Also, 10 liters of milk has to be brought within an hour from the market for Sevai sweet making. Today is Radhashtami festival day. I was looking for some help.
After all, we are all 20 girls staying together as one family. We have to work together to please Guru and Krishna. I can take care of bringing milk, Lalita. I'll find out who can cut sabji very soon.
Okay, that's nice. I'll find out someone else for cutting sabji. You can arrange milk to be brought. Sorry for putting more anxiety on you on your test day.
No problem. It's my privilege. Oh, milkmaid, I need 10 liters of milk within 30 minutes. Can you home deliver it to us? Hand it over to Lalita Devi. Here is her mobile. 98. Okay, whatever. Here is her mobile number, Lalita ji, and of the milkmaid, who will bring you milk within 30 minutes.
Thank you so much for your prompt seva, Shyama. You're really blessed to be so kind.
Also, Lalita, I found out that Vishakha's test is postponed to next week. She just told me she's available to cut sabji for you. I checked with her over phone. She will be back from her tuition in 5 minutes.
Oh, that is wonderful. You have done both my services, Shyama. My best wishes for your test today. I heard a saying, if you have an important service to do, catch the busiest person. Only she can find time. That is surely true in your case, Shyama. You do so many sevas and still are always cheerful without complaint.
I wish I could be of better service to you to relieve your anxiety. You're a dear leader, taking care of all of us. How can we not make our best efforts to please you, Lalita? Hari Bol.
So there are 3-4 lessons you can learn from this. Let us see who can say. Mike will come to you. Huh? Thank you. Yeah, take the mic. Yeah, turn the mic.
When we have more services, we have to intricately understand our resources first, where we can connect up easily and do the service very easily.
Yeah, when you have too many services.
2-3 services comes together, we have to understand our resources.
So when there are 2-3 services all at once comes, some people get bogged down. Huh? Some people wonder, my Lord, too many services, they collapse. Huh? But he says that one has to understand how they can be done maturely. So who amongst the two, Lalita Mataji or Shyam Mataji, about whom you say? Who was?
Shyam Mataji identify the resources like having
she
phone.
identified who can do which one. It's called as wedding the service to the person who can do that.
Mataji identifies resources like telephone she can use it and that
Correct.
context.
Correct.
So in peace time, if we can resources, we can identify
Correct.
what all our resources. In war time, we can implement very easily.
Very good. Thank you. There's one hand up.
Delegating the services at right time.
Exactly. By delegating, we can do a huge amount of service.
Because if
And-
she have went for the 31 hours, she would be just getting the milk.
Correct.
So just made a phone call.
Phone call, yeah.
and got
Correct.
the milk.
Exactly. So, in fact, when you delegate and empower people below you, many times people feel very happy also that they got something to do. And we also get relieved of the anxiety also. So, one has to find out to whom we can delegate. Thank you. Anything else you learned? Yes. Mic is on? Yeah.
Lalita is empathic in her communication.
Uh-huh.
She said that you seem to be rushing. You have a test today. I mean, she was not pushy.
That is one of the main points I was looking for in the realization point. Lalita is talking about Shama's test, and Shama is thinking about Lalita's services. So this is the ideal situation of a authority and subordinate anywhere. Like parents should worry about children, and children should worry about parents. Husband should worry about wife. Wife should worry about husband. That means we should not worry about ourselves. We should worry about the. So authority should worry about subordinates. I'm giving you so much service, will you be able to handle? That means you're worried about subordinates. Subordinates is saying, oh, you are taking so much anxiety for us. I can definitely take it myself, don't worry. So like this, we call it like this, not like this. Like this means you worry about yourself, you worry about yourself. I had, and I'll just show you a picture. Just a minute. You'll get an idea if you see this picture. Just one. Where is that? This one. See this one. Modern societies often lack such deep feelings of commitment and responsibility between family members within community. See, both these fellows, husband and wife, are they thinking about one another? They are thinking about whom? Themselves. And see the poor child in between. There's no one to think about him. Correct, na? This is selfishness, correct, na? If actually where there is a selfish attitude like this, there is no happiness there. Yeah. On the other hand, here you see this one. See these two pictures. See, that lady is having heavy duty grinder in her hand, stone grinder. And yeah, actually I have seen this in our home, it was there in the village. Once my finger got stuck in that. He's screaming and they all came running together. So the stone is so heavy, if you slightly move, it will fall like this. Very difficult to rotate it. But she's smiling. You're able to see a smile on her face. Although it is a heavy duty, she's sweating and smiling. Whereas below lady, what she's saying, I have to go to gym. No patience to cook at home. She's telling all family members, go to hotels. So both are sweating. She is sweating. But there's a difference in their sweating. One is sweating in seva. Another one is sweating in gym. Correct, na? Just see. Because that is selfless, this is selfish. Correct, na? You can see that. So, where is that? What happened to that? Okay, I think it is here. And this is the one. Okay, so that is a good point. She was telling about being empathic. Empathic means think about others. Needs, interests, concerns, and expectations. Don't only think about oneself only. That is a good point, yeah. Any other point from the drama? Any takeaway point for you? One takeaway point for me also is that, keep your mind open. Don't be very closed. Like today I have test. So people become very closed. For example, if my superior is telling me some service, don't you know today I have a test? How dare you ask me? Is that a good attitude? No. But she's saying, yes, I have a test, but I will try to find out what best can I do. No, that is the right attitude. So therefore it is said our mind is like a parachute. It is said parachute functions better when closed or open. Open. So mind is also like a parachute. Huh? Keep your mind open, then it can function better. So you have completed, see? You have finished. So we have 10 more minutes left for us for any discussion. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So this last skit we have touched upon two aspects. One from the devotee who actually gives service,
Yes.
and another from the point of the person who is accepting service.
Correct.
So the devotees have spoken about from the person who is giving service.
Correct.
I mean, first is that Lalita is the
Correct.
leader who has given the service,
Ah.
and Shyama who had delegated her service.
Correct.
So that is one thing. And you have actually told about how the person who Shama taking the service
Correct.
from that perspective.
Correct.
We
Good
have to
attitude.
keep our attitude open.
Correct.
Even though we are busy, we have to
Correct.
think whether I can actually serve.
Yeah, or get it done to somebody. Yeah, correct.
So sometimes we also have not sometimes every time when we are in some service, we actually ask some devotees for service and some things which we can do. So most of the times when we actually become some kind of years in Krishna, we actually tend to delegate everything
To others.
to others. And
Actually, we should not delegate everything because I heard that in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, when Brahma had delegated all service to all demigods and he was empty, and therefore he got into Brahma Vimohan Leela. Because he had no service to do. We should not delegate everything. We should keep some service for ourselves also. Like Leelanand Prabhu has taken up a new program now in the morning. Recently I asked Prabhuji, you have so many people. You have 150, 200 people in your community. Why are you doing a new people program? Your residents are doing. Said, no, Prabhu, they will do, but I also have to do. I have told them to do in the morning. They are all doing their program in the morning. I am doing my new program in the morning. And then the evening, 5 to 8, he does. For all the devotees together, he does. So we should not delegate everything. There should be something for ourselves also. It's very important. Thank you. Because empty mind is not a very good thing. Idle mind is a devil's workshop. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So how much service to accept, Prabhu? Because sometimes because of our
You
services...
should be in stretch zone, comfort zone, stretch zone, panic zone. See, in comfort zone, life is boring. In panic zone, life is a nightmare. In stretch zone, life has challenges and it leads to something called as a flow, we call it. Flow means, you have tears in your eyes and you say, it was difficult, but I did it. At last I could do it. By Krishna's grace, by Guru's grace, by Vaishnava's blessings, I could do it. You have tears of joy in your eyes. So it was little beyond you, but it was not impossible for you. You ultimately achieved it. So that is the right platform. And we should have actually such kind of assignments day after day, month after month like that. And that is a little stretch zone. And that's good. And when you're in stretch zone for a few months, then we can also take a break from that for 3 days, 5 days. You take a break. And before you venture on another challenge, you can take a little break and do more chanting, reading. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur in one place says that every 15 days on Ekadashi day, we can look back how my last 2 weeks went. So the Ekadashi day is a good day for survey, he says. It's called Simhavalok. Simhavalok means a lion runs behind some deer or something. At one point of time, he wants to check his pace, whether my pace is good enough. Similarly, he says that, see, Vihangavalok means bird's eye view. Simhavalok means when you see your progress. It's called performance appraisal. Performance appraisal you can do every 2 weeks. Like, I would look at my calendar, last 2 weeks, what all programs I did, were they fruitful programs or did I... And we also understand that we have wasted some time in some useless things also. So this 2 full days went uselessly, Koda pahad nikli chuya, wo bhi adha mari, we say, Sometimes we work very hard and nothing comes out. Anybody's experience? Correct? Na? Some days go like that. Morning to night, you struggle. So then you understand that next time I will do it differently. You know. So looking back at our performance in spiritual life, whether it is chanting, sadhana, japa, or our reading of Prabhupada books, or our preaching, or our dealings with devotees, dealings with deities, and a balance of menial services versus white collar services. So all these things we can look back and do a survey. And survey is very important. Yeah. Give the mic to.
Most of our services are like we're doing it in a group,
Yeah.
like many people together.
Mhm.
What is stretch zone for some devotees is panic zone for the
Correct,
others.
correct. You are right.
So how do we strike a balance there?
Therefore, individually we have to see. For what you said is true, because everybody is not same type of personality. They have different type of personality. Some devotees have enormous capacity. They can do a lot simultaneously, parallel processing they can do. Cut. Gaurang Darshan Prabhu is one such person. Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, he is heading the deity department in Govardhanako village, taking care of Radha, Vrindavan Vihari also. And he's also heading the Bhaktivedanta Vidyapita. He teaches also, and he brings out colorful books also. And for bringing out those books, I introduce many times artists and other people to him. When people ask me for service, I just connected. From Pune, 2-3 people I connected, and they get very good seva under him. He's a very good seva awarder. He was a doctorate student in IASC, So he's very good in, giving articles to write to some people and publishing in the magazine. Some people will say you do drawings, and some people he will tell them to make a PPT presentation like that. And then he'll take it from them, and then he'll tweak it and modify it and give a heading and everything. So it's very good in multiple, in ambidextrous, we say, no? Some people are like that. And he also works hard. He makes the people work hard. He takes a group of people like that. And he does children program also, abroad, online and everything. Later on, makes books after understanding the psychology. So this is some people's style. The other fellows, they're like eagle. One service you take, hard shit like this. Until that service is finished, they won't look here or there. This is another style. How many of you have that style? Like this. You see, then you take one service at a time, correct? No? Don't. If anybody comes, they will say, don't disturb me. Don't disturb me. Like that. They'll go like that. Some people are like that. Some people like this. Multiple things. So different styles are there. What style suits you, you have to check it. And some people have this much capacity, some have this much. Some people collapse even with little service also. So I think that we have to draw our comfort, stretch and panic zone and see, how long hours we can work, in a day. Some people, they read one sentence from Prabhupada. That keeps ringing in the ear, all day, morning to night. What a statement Prabhupada made. And by contemplation, they get spiritual nourishment. Whereas some fellows, even if they read 1 full hour also, still they go to Maya. Even that doesn't sink in their head. Therefore, I feel that the nourishment needed by different devotees is also different, because Purva Janma Karma is also there. So therefore, how much nourishment I need, how much sadhana I need, how much service can I do, each individual with the help of the mentor, I think, can sit and make a plan, I think. Yeah. Now we have few minutes, so there is one last question you can raise, Madhuri. Yeah. And then we'll take from Prabhuji last. Yeah.
Hare. Prabhuji, what is SRCGD in this test?
Actually, I have only given SRC here. See, S means do I want to serve or do I want to be served? And R for respect, and C for care. G for glad upon seeing advancement. And D is, do I depend on Hari Guru Vaishnavas or I depend on my own mind? So I am only giving on SRC only. G and D are going to come in other seminars and other courses.
Right. Yes. Probably one more question about the flow of it. So we are in course 1. Now this is first module.
Yes.
Developing Vaishnava qualities,
Yes.
service attitude, respect and care.
Yes.
In that there is test, the scale of humility. In that we are discussing only the first part.
Service attitude.
Service.
So I have given you 3 notes. Service attitude 1, and then respect and care.
Right.
So respect and care can be finished in next month class. So that will get over. These 2 will finish it next time. And then subsequently we'll go to the second one. The second topic will take 2 sittings also. Overcoming fault finding is one sitting. Learning to see goodness is second sitting. And then the other ones will go in one sitting. It can be finished. I think third one can be finished in one sitting. Fourth one will take two sittings. And fifth one can also finish in one sitting. And the sixth one also one. So in this way, some will require two, some will require one sitting.
So, in this first service attitude and respect care, we're going to discuss all the 5 of these scale of humility tests.
No. In this 5, SRCGD was given by His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj. In that, right now we completed only service attitude. The next class, respect and care, we will do. And G and D, I have pushed it to other courses.
Okay, understood.
Thank you. And you had a question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, when we are delegating our service to others,
Yeah.
so is it, I mean, especially in the long term, is it better to give a territory, like they say, Prabhu Datta Desh, they give them a territory, or is it better to give make two or more devotees responsible for the same service? So, which is better for the devotee and the service?
Some people have a very good team playing nature, like ants. Ants are good team players. Some people are like lions. You can just leave the lion to himself. In Tamil, we call Tanikat Raja, we say. That means you leave him. I heard in Gir forest, Gir forest in Gujarat, the lions were tearing each other and killing. And so the wildlife sanctuary people became worried that the population will reduce. So what they have done now, they have made barriers for them. So some few acres of land for one lion. They told you are king of only this place. You can't go to the other fellow. They have divided the lands and given to lions. You rule only here, like that. Similarly, some devotees, if you give them one service along with some few people under them, they are very good in getting service done from juniors. But with equals, they cannot work. And some people, they need equal friends to work with, and they will be very productive in a team. They themselves may not do great things, but if you put them as 3-4 people together, they do wonders. So the nature of service and the nature of individual, both has to be seen. Some services, if you make them do as a group, they do well. Some services you hand over to one person. And some people tell me also, Prabhu, you just leave service to me. You don't chase after me. I will produce the results. You give some people under me and I will produce results. There are people who are very smart. If you give them a service along with some people, they do it. We can trust them and leave them. That is our style, we can say. Lion-like people. Lion-like people or ant-like people. You have to decide based on their nature. And you had a point to say as well.
Because there is emergency, and as the community grows bigger or this thing, that's more frequent emergencies. So at the time, the planning mode will not work. Definitely, somebody gets hospitalized, some child, something happens, some family, something happens.
Somebody was supposed to do and they are not available. Sometimes.
And they're not available. So in such cases, what is the best? Because
one thing is we should not expand unlimitedly. We have to be a little mindful. Sometimes, we think that we can just go on expanding, and people, as they become devotees, we can just engage them. But what happens is people run out of fuel many times. We imagine that everybody is like a Superman or Superwoman, which they are not. You have seen Superman with this thing, with a gown behind. That's only good in movie only. There are Superman, Superwoman like devotees also in our movement. Some people are there, but not everybody can be like that. There are a few. So we have to be realistic and not be idealistic. Idealistic means, Prabhupada wanted every town and village. You just expand. You go here, you go there. Prabhupada sent to New York. From New York, he sent to LA and San Francisco and London. He just sent to different places. Like I have sent to almost 15 places in India. Devotees from Pune. But it's not that after sending you can relax in Pune. I visit also those places. I am available on phone calls. I am available on Zoom talks. Many times there are crises there because they have to deal with authorities who have different value systems. I personally fly there, spend time with them. First 5 to 8 years, a lot of energy has to be invested in the team I send. After which they become almost stable after that. Then they can go on after that. Then they also grow up in maturity. But it takes time. Similarly, one example I tell you, one story my spiritual master said. If you, one man was sowing a seed which germinated and then it grew into a small sapling plant. So a goat came to eat. So the man said, don't eat, he said. So a man came to cut some branches. He said, hey, don't cut, he said. One old lady came to pluck some leaves and the flowers. He said, hey, don't pluck, he said. And they all went away. Now the sapling grew very big, into a big tree. Big branches and flowers and mangoes and everything came. Now he called all of them. He said, now you can cut some of the branches for your firewood, he said. Now he told the lady, you can pluck leaves and flowers if you want. You want to make toranam, you can take the leaves. You can take mangoes if you want. And he told the goat also, now you can eat some leaves, no problem. Because now the tree has gone to it is self-sustaining as well as it is in a contributing mode now at that time. But in the initial phase, you have to invest. Later, they will contribute. So all of us, we will see in our spiritual lives also. The early years, somebody invested time in us. And then we grew up. Then we became more mature and everything. Then we started contributing. Now, even while we are contributing, leaders problems are of a different nature than the problems of the upcoming devotees. Totally different. For example, the prestige problem. Newcomers don't have that. It's problem of very grown-up devotees. Image problem. There was one senior devotee, there is one Abhishek going on in a new installation of program. They are calling out all the names. Please come to the stage and offer Abhishek for the ladies. And this fellow's name was missed out. And he's not going. He's just sitting and watching whether they're calling me or not. They're not calling him. Later on, one manager ran to the stage and said, Prabhuji, everybody is over except this leader in the congregation. He's an important man. And he has done a lot of service. So we should call him. Then they made announcement. Prabhu, so and so, Prabhu, please come now. Your name got missed out. Now we are calling you. Still he didn't go. He wouldn't go to the stage to do Abhishek. They were searching, where is he? Where is he? Please come. And everything got over. Later on, this fellow was taking complaint to president that they didn't call me. And then president was surprised, they didn't call you. Then when he asked somebody, no, Prabhu, they called, but he didn't come. Then president asked him, why you didn't come? You were called, He said, no, they should have called me along with others. He didn't call me. Afterwards, somebody pushed forward, therefore I was called. Because I was not given due respect at that time, I didn't go. Which means, they have neglected me. And those who neglected me in making this, they should be given some punishment. So this kind of problem newcomers don't have. This is actually a problem of expectation of respect. Correct now? Therefore we say amanina manadena. So therefore the grown-ups have different type of problem. Grown-ups have ego problem. Like for example, me and my followers and he and his followers. They have that type of problem also. Groups, sometimes my territory, they become very territory conscious. Nobody can enter into my territory and things like that. So therefore, when we are dealing with, so that the training from first 1 to 6, 7 years is like this. And then beyond that, grown-ups have different type of problems. Actually, therefore, the grown-ups need a very advanced devotee association where they can't open up to young ones. They can open up to equals or seniors, correct now? And they also can understand that even I am suffering from this anartha, I should get rid of this. This is not good. Actually, I got a lot of help from my special master personally in dealing with some of the problems with juniors as well as with my own mind also, my mind and heart also. One-on-one, I have spent hours with him, learning also from him. So, and then he will help us to see, like for example, we should learn the art of forgiving those who even hated us. For example, imagine in my community there is somebody who hated me and did something. Now, but he's an important person in the community. So you forgive, forget, and be friendly, so that Prabhupada's mission will flourish. Or I take it very personally, and I want to, disempower him. By doing that, my ego will be satisfied. But Prabhupada's mission will suffer because he is contributing well. So these kind of problems are all there in later years. So therefore, I feel that all of us have to, plan our life in such a way that there's some time for improving ourselves and there is some time for contributing. Therefore, we cannot just be running in an expanding mode. That tendency is there in all of us to expand very fast. So that because Prabhupada said, every town and village we want to expand. I'm also having similar challenges many times. We are like a pendulum. We try to expand too much and we struggle to get kicks and then come back to, this side, and then we feel I'm not doing anything. Go back again. Then you want to expand again. So when you're going like this, then you have to come to a steadiness. Gradually we will bring about that steadiness. So thank you all for taking out your time and coming for this today. We'll just see the date next month. I'll just show you. August 17th. We'll just make sure. Right, no? Yeah. So, okay, 7:30 is all right for you, no?
Yes.
7:30 to 9:30. This time is good for everybody? Okay. So second notes second and third you can finish and come, okay? I have sent you already. Second and third I have sent you. Those two we'll try to finish. Actually, the respect I'm not going to spend much time because that will come in other seminars also. So we will do it very brief and go to care. Care is very important. Shri Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki.